Hello and welcome back, it's Shrike here with another D&D video. And yesterday, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, the newest book to Dungeons & Dragons, was released, and I did a live stream going through some areas of the book. In the book there are quite a few new magic items, so I go through all of them and give my thoughts and we see what it's all about. So in this video you're going to see every single one of those magic items, and hopefully that's going to help you decide if you want to buy the new book. If you do want to buy the new book, there is a link down in the description. That is an affiliate link over to Amazon where you can buy the book, and if you do it through that way, I get a small amount of money, which helps me to support what I'm doing with this channel. So go down to the description, go through that link and buy the book if after this video you decide you want to buy the book. But without further ado, here's my first look at the magic items in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Let's have a look at the next section, which is magical items, which I'm pretty excited to have a look at these magical tattoos. Okay, so there's quite a lot of new magic items, in fact. Yeah, quite a lot. Some artifacts as well in here. Oh, Baba Yaga on there. Very nice. Let's have a look. Oh, okay, so the tattoos are in here as well. That's why it looks like quite a lot. There's some tattoos. Okay, so let's first look about magic tattoos. So, blend in magic and artistry, you can have magic tattoos. Okay, so are all of the... Yes, okay, so all of the magic items are together, so I'm not just going to be able to go through just the tattoos, so we're just going to go through all of the magic items then. Okay, so absorbing tattoo. So to attune to this item, you need the needle to your skin where you want a tattoo to appear. Pressing the needle here throughout the attunement process. When the attunement is complete, the needle turns into the ink that becomes a tattoo, which appears on the skin. If your attunement to the tattoo ends, the tattoo finishes, and the needle reappears in your space. Ah, interesting. Okay, so they actually take an attunement spot, even though that they're a tattoo. Little bit strange, but I guess there was a lot of balancing conversations that happened here. And they realised that they couldn't give away some of these without having it attunement as well, so they've added in this little bit here. Okay, so damage resistance. While the tattoo is on your skin, you have resistance to the type of damage associated with a colour, and it lists them all out here. When you take damage from the chosen type, you can use your reaction to gain immunity against that instance of the damage, and you would gain a number of hit points equal to half the damage you would have taken. Once this reaction is used, it can't be used again for the next turn. So that's a very nice ability. This was a very rare magic item, so it should be quite powerful. And I like tattoos. Not in real life, I have no tattoos, but well, I like them, but I just don't have any. So, but yeah, in D&D, I think they're very nice. Okay, so the Alchemical Compendium is a rare item. So, when found, the book contains the following spells. There's a few there. It functions as a spell book for you. While you're holding the book, you can use it as a spellcasting focus for your wizard spells. It has 3 charges. Gain some at dawn. So you can expend the charges in the following way. If you spend 1 minute studying the book, you can expend 1 charge to replace one of your prepared wizard spells with a different spell in the book. The new spell must be of the Transmutation school. Okay, very nice. So at any point, or 3 times a day, you can swap out a spell, which is nice because sometimes you just pick the wrong spell. As an action, you can touch a non-magical object that isn't being worn or carry and spend a number of charges to transform the target into another object. For 1 charge, the object can be no larger than 1 foot. Okay, so it's all about transmutation, so basically you get to change one thing to another. Oh, nice. Okay, so the all-purpose tool has some variations, as you can see out here. The simple screwdriver can transform into a variety of tools. You can touch and transform into any artisan tool of your choice. Quite nice. Whatever form it takes, you're proficient with. By holding this tool, you gain a bonus to the spell attack rolls and saving throws of your artificer spells. The bonus is determined by the tool's rarity. As an action, you can focus on the tool to channel your creative forces. Choose a cantrip that you don't know from any class list. For 8 hours, you can cast that cantrip and it counts as an artificer cantrip for you. Very nice. So you can take a cantrip from any class, which is always quite nice. That could also, so that even though you're an artificer, you can get access to cleric cantrips as well. So you could have guidance, which is quite nice. Okay, so Amulet of the Devout also has some different variations, uncommon, rare, and very rare, and requires achievement from cleric or paladin. So bears the resemblance of a deity. While you wear the holy sister, you gain a bonus to spell attack rolls and saving throws. While you wear this amulet, you can use your divine feature without expending one of its uses. Once this property is used, can't have it till next dawn. So basically, you get another channel divinity in your day. Arcane Grimoire. So once again, same, but with a wizard. So I'm guessing you just get that bonus to your wizard DC and spell attack rolls. And you can use this book as a spell book. In addition, when you use the Arcane Recovery feature, you can increase the number of spell slots you were going by 1. I'm seeing a... Okay, so I'm guessing each class basically got some variation of these items that we'll see throughout. So this one is rare, requires attunement by sorcerer only. This crystal is solidified shard of the astral plane. As an action, you can attach the shard to a tiny object or detach it. It falls off if your attunement is ended. When you use a meta magic option on a spell while you're holding or wearing the shard immediately after casting the spell, you can teleport to an unoccupied space within 30 feet. So you basically get Misty Step when you use a meta magic option. It's quite nice because I do find that sorcerers don't really use the meta magic options as much. They're usually used to get spell slots back or just forgotten about, so that's quite nice. Okay, so this is attuned by a wizard. So as a bonus action, you can unfold it into a sphere or back into a disc. When found, it contains the following spells. It functions as a spell book, so it has 3 charges, regains 1d3 charges at dawn. If you spend 1 minute studying the archive, you can expend 1 charge to... Okay, so it's very similar to the other one. It's just all around divination. So I'm going to go ahead and assume, yep, so this is the same. So it's pretty much the same. You get these spells, it works as a spell book, you get some charges. You can change one of your prepared spells into a spell that is to do with the school of that book. And then it gives you a little extra bit as well. So this one, you can use your reaction to force a creature to roll a d4 and apply the number rolled as a bonus or penalty of the original. And this one you can teleport 10 feet. So I assume there's going to be some others for the other school of magics as well. We're only going into B, so that was just A. So there's quite a lot of A's there. So this is the first artifact. So Baba Yaga. Among the implements of Asman, Baba Yaga's mortar and pestle. The signature tools of Baba Yaga are a single artifact for purposes of attunement. Should the 2 objects become separated, the pestle appears next to mortar next door. Properties of the mortar. The mortar is a tiny wood spoon, however, increases properties of pestle. Okay, so the pestle is a quarterstaff that gives +3 attack damage rolls. The pestle has 12 charges when hit with a melee attack. Using the pestle, you can expend up to 3 charges to deal an additional 1d8. Okay, so you can do more damage. Instantly fills with the desired amount of that material. Okay, so you can get the pestle to so any non-magical plant, mineral, or fluid that is worth 10 gold or less. Okay, interesting. Commander grind for it. I'm just reading this because there's quite a lot here and it's quite confusing. For the next minute, I'll tell you. The pestle moves on its own, grinding the contents of the mortar into a mash of fine powder. At the start of each of your turns, whatever is in the mortar takes... Oh, okay, so you can put stuff in the mortar. It takes quite a lot of damage if it's reduced to 0. is reduced to a powder, pulp, or paste. Only magic items are unaffected. Okay, so it just grinds whatever's in it. Fair enough. There's nothing that's completely mental about this legendary item so far. Okay, so it can travel to a specific place or creature. It's within 1,000 miles of you. Okay, so it's like a weird car, just like in this picture here. Oh, okay, so you can go to a different world as well. Okay, so you can travel between planes and worlds, and you arrive within a minute. So there's nothing for a uh, artifact. There was nothing crazy there when you compare it to like the Eye of Vecna or the um, Book of Good Deeds and stuff like that. You obviously would get your 2 minor, 1 major, 1 minor properties here. But yeah, nothing massive. Let's have a look at the barrier tattoo now. So the achievement is the exact same as the other tattoo. While you aren't wearing armor, the tattoo grants you an armor class depending on the tattoo's rarity, which are down here. Okay, so that could be quite good for monks and barbarians. And barbarians are known for their tattoos, so I can imagine this being picked up by quite a few barbarians, getting a little bit of more armor class. Bell branch, the silver implemented branch has 3 charges. Presence of aberration. Okay, so you can expend 1 charge to detect the presence of aberration, celestials, constructs, elements, fae, fiends, or undead within 60 feet of you. Okay, and you can get protection from evil and good. Quite basic, but nice. Blood Fury tattoo. So it has 10 charges, this one. While this tattoo is on your skin, you get the following benefits. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend it to do 4d6 necrotic damage, quite a lot, and you gain a number of hit points equal to the necrotic damage dealt. That is very nice. When a creature you see damages you, you can expend a charge and use your reaction to make a melee attack against that creature with advantage on the roll. So 10 is quite a lot when those 2 features are both very nice and they only expend 1 charge. So yeah, that is a very nice tattoo. It is a legendary in status, so it should be. But yeah, very nice. Okay, so Blood Well Vial. So this looks like it's yeah, so it's required by a sorcerer. It's similar to the ones we looked at before. So you get either +1, +2, or +3 to your bonus attack rolls and saving throws. But in addition, when you roll any hit dice to recover hit points while you are carrying the vial, you can regain 5 sorcery points. That's quite nice. This property of the vial can't be used again until the next dawn. So that's quite nice because of what I said earlier about the sorcerer, that a lot of people forget about their sorcery points, or they just use them to get spell slots back rather than actually using them for the fun stuff. Okay, so we got a Cauldron of Rebirth. Let's have a look at what this is. So it can be used as a spell focus. Interesting. For your druid spells, and it functions as a so it could be achieved by druid or warlock, but it can only be used as a focus for your druid spells, not your warlock spells. That's quite interesting, and it functions as a suitable component for scrying. So scrying, you would usually have to get a crystal ball or a mirror or something like that that's worth 500 gold or something like that. So this would fit in that place. When you finish a long rest, you can use the Cauldron to create a potion of greater healing. That's quite nice. There's not a great deal of information about how potions are made. So this is one way that you can have it made by using the Cauldron of Rebirth. As an action, you can cause the Cauldron to grow large enough for a medium creature to crouch within it. You can then revert it back to its normal size with an action, harmlessly shunting anything inside to the nearest unoccupied space. If you place the corpse of a humanoid into the cauldron and cover the corpse with 200 pounds of salt for at least 8 hours, the salt is consumed and the creature returns to life at next dawn. Interesting. So this could be quite a good magic item to give to someone that doesn't have any sort of raising the dead style. If your party doesn't have a raising the dead style ability, as like a little backup, they can have this cauldron. Very nice. I like the feel of the cauldron. Let's have a look at another tattoo. So the attunement is the exact same as the other ones. While this tattoo is on your skin, you can, as an action, cause a tattoo to extrude into inky tendrils, which will reach out to a creature within 15 feet of you, which must make a DC 14 strength saving throw or take 3d6 force damage if be grappled by you. As an action, the creature can escape the grapple by succeeding on a DC 14 strength or dexterity check. The grapple also ends if you halt it. If the creature is ever more than 50 feet away from you, or if you use this tattoo on a different creature. Okay, very nice. So a fair amount of damage, and it's grappled. It's only an uncommon tattoo, this one, so I feel like that is about the right level of damage. And grappling someone is always nice, especially if they're trying to get away. Okay, so this is the second artifact, the Crook of Rao. I don't know how you say that. Rao. Okay, so let's have a look. So there's a nice little picture here, very celestial looking. So while you're holding it, you can expend one or more of its charges to cause any of these. All very nice spells, especially Mass Cure Wounds. Absolute Banishment. While you're tuned to the Crook, you can spend 10 minutes to banish all but the mightiest fiends within 1 mile of you. Any fiend with a challenge rating of 19 or higher are unaffected. Each banished fiend is sent back to the home plane and can't return to the plane the Crook banished it from for 100 years. That is pretty impressive. So any fiend challenge rating 19 or challenge rating 18 or lower within a mile is banished for 100 years. That's a long time, that is a big range, and there's not many fiends that are going to be higher than that challenge rating. So how many times can you do this? Well, you can just do it as many as you want for 10 minutes. So there's no reason, if you've got this, to just like go around the city of Waterdeep and just in mile radiuses and just banish all of the fiends in the area, and then essentially end up with a city that definitely doesn't have any Rakshasas, doesn't have any succubuses, doesn't have any hidden devils in it. Interesting. And that's not it. So whenever the Crook uses the banish property, or when its last choice is expended, you have to roll on the table any creatures conjured as a result of this effect appear. Oh, okay, so there's the backlash. I should have continued to read. So if you use the banish property, it could cause one of these to happen. Well, it does cause one of these to happen. And they're all pretty bad. Some were not as bad, so 2d4 imps. If you're banishing, you know, a couple of Rakshasas and some barbed devils and stuff like that, isn't too bad, but you could accidentally get a Balor or a Pit Fiend and Igwilf's Curse that we're going to read now. So, over the years, the curse has spread, within the Crook threatening to violently avert its ancient magic. If this occurs, the Crook of Rao, as it is currently known, is destroyed, its magical matrix inverting and exploding into a 50-foot diameter portal. This portal acts as a permanent gate spell cast by Igwil. The gate then, once per round on initiative, count 20, audibly speaks a fiend's name, doing so until the gate calls on every fiend ever banished by Crook. Okay, so that, pretty bad. So if you had gone around and banished a load of things and then you roll a 91 to a 0, everything comes back through a portal right next to you. Okay, I'll take it back. It's not overpowered. Very risky, but fun. Definitely something that I would put in one of my games for a bit of fun. Then the players have to try to weigh up the benefit for the negatives. Cool. So Crystalline Chronicle. Very rare. So when found, the crystal contains the following spells. While holding the crystal, you can use it as a wizard's spell. And you know a couple cantrips. You can spend 1 minute. So you get 3 charges, and you can expend them to expend one of your prepared for a different spell in the book. When you cast a spell, you can expend 1 charge to cast a spell without verbal, somatic, or material components of up to 100 GP value. Okay, so you could use this to be a bit of a stealth wizard. You could cast without having to make a noise. That's quite nice. Okay, so we're going on to the D's now. So there are a lot of magical items here, but we will get through them all. Okay, so the Demonomicon of Igwilv. So let's skip past the book charges, has 3 charges, and you get some cool, not so friendly spells there. So you can reference the Demonomicon and you make an intelligence check to discern information about demons, or a wisdom check related to the abyss. Okay, very nice. Give your characters more information. Your magic causes pain to fiends while carrying the book. When you make a damage roll for a spell you cast on a fiend, you do maximum possible result instead of rolling. Very nice, especially if there's quite a lot of fiends in your campaign. If your players get hands on this, it will be very nice. Okay, so while carrying the book, whenever you cast Magic Circle or the Planar Binding spell targeting a fiend, the spell is cast at 9th level, regardless of what spell slot you use, if any. Additionally, the fiend has disadvantage on the same throw, so once again, not a good day for fiends. The first 10 pages are blank. As an action, you can hold the book. You can target a fiend that you can see that is trapped within a magic circle. The fiend must succeed on a DC 20 charisma saving throw with disadvantage, or become trapped within one of the empty pages, which fills with writing detailing the trapped creature's widely known name and that deperatives. Not that hard. Once used, can't be used again until next dawn. You can finish a long rest if you understand the trap creature. Blah blah blah. You must make a DC 20 charisma saving throw. On a failure, you are possessed by the creature. Not very nice, which controls you like a puppet. Okay, so you can, in theory, trap them, but the next day, the trap creature can attempt to possess you. So, swings and roundabouts. Probably not ideal if you get possessed by something in the middle of a game, especially that is a very high DC. You have to make a DC 20 charisma saving throw. And then there's some information about if you want to destroy it. Hey, Devotee's Sensor. Interesting. It's a rare, so the flail. So it's a flail that counts as a holy symbol for you. Oh, that's very nice. I can imagine a cleric running around with this then, especially a cleric of the Tempest or something like that. When you hit with an attack, it does an extra 1d8 radiant damage, and as a bonus action, you can speak command words, cause the flail to emanate a thin cloud of incense for 10 feet around you for 1 minute. At the start of the turn, you and any creature in the incense gain 1d4 hit points. Oh, very nice. Yeah, I like that. That's a very interesting merge between a weapon and a sensor, so I like it. So this is another one of the wizard attunement items. This one looks like it is for illusion school of magic. So you get some spells, you get 3 charges, you can replace one of your spells, and then the last thing is you can do an intelligence check to discern the nature of an illusion spell you cast, or make saving throw. You can use your reaction and expend 1 charge to impose disadvantage on your roll. So basically, your illusions are a little bit better. Okay, so another tattoo. So you get the normal attunement part, While a tattoo is on your skin, your unarmed strikes are considered magical for the purpose of overcoming immunity and resistance, and you gain +1 to bonus to attack rolls and damage rolls. Very nice for a monk. As a bonus action, you can empower your tattoo for 1 minute for the duration. Each of your melee attacks with a weapon or an unarmed strike can reach a target up to 15 feet away from you. So you get some inky tendrils that goes towards the target. In addition, your melee attacks deal additional 1d6 force damage on hit. Once used, this bonus action can't be used until the next dawn. Okay, so you can make your punches ranged. Interesting. Sounds pretty good to me. So, Elemental Essence Shard, rare. As an action, you can attach the shard to a tiny object. Okay, so this is similar to the other one that we saw. Roll a d4 and consult the elemental shard to determine the shard's essence and property. When you use a meta magic option on a spell while you're holding or wearing the shard, you can use that property. So I quite like stuff like this that give you a few options within the spell. So this one, if you get air, you can fly. If you get earth, you get resistance. If you get fire, you do additional damage. If you do water, then does additional damage and it's pushed. Nice, I like it. So Far Realm Shard. So as an action, you can attach. Okay, so it's same thing. So enhancing the sorcerer when you use a metamagic option on a spell while you're holding slimy tentacles with 30 feet of you. The creature must exceed a charisma saving throw against your spell save DC and take psychic damage and become frightened. Okay, so that's Far Realm, Feywild, and Shadowfell shards, just so you have a visual representation of what they look like. So the Feywild shard, similar thing. When you use the magic option, you can roll on the wild magic table. That's interesting because a lot of people don't like that table. If the result is a spell, it's too wild to be affected by your magic, and if it normally requires a concentration, it doesn't require concentration. If you don't have the wild magic sorceress option, once this property is used to roll on the table, it can't be used again for the next storm. Interesting. Okay, so this is another one. So this is for the evocation skull. So 3 charges, you can change your spell at any point with a charge, and you can make your evocations do more damage. Okay, so on to G. So another tattoo, normal tattoo attunement. Tattoo has 3 charges and regains at dawn. As a bonus action, you can spend 1 of the charges to become incorporeal until the end of your next turn. That's quite nice. For the duration, you gain the following benefits. You get resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. You can't be grappled or restrained, and you can move through solid objects as if they were difficult terrain, but you can't end your turn in them or you take damage. Interesting. That's quite nice. Nice little addition. So you can go incorporeal and go through walls and whatnot. So the Guardian emblem is uncommon, and by a cleric or paladin again, you get 3 charts. So you can put this on a suit of armor or a shield. You get 3 charges. When a creature suffers a critical hit, you can use your reaction to make it a normal hit. So that's what the Cleric of Death, Cleric of the Grave, I think it is, gets this ability. So they've just put that into an item. Okay, so we got another wizard attunement item, so it gives some spells they can swap out for enchantment spells, and then you can use 1 charge to impose disadvantage on the first saving throw. Now a tattoo. Okay, so while this tattoo is on your skin, you can write with your fingertips as if they were the ink of a pen, with ink that never runs out. As an action, you can touch a piece of paper up to 1 page in length and speak a creature's name. The writing becomes invisible to everyone other than that one creature. Very nice for roleplay situations in this one. I've got a few players that would enjoy something like this rather than something combat orientated, so a very nice addition by them. Okay, so this is the Necromancer version of the wizard ability by the looks of it. So the additional thing they get is you can take a deathly appearance and undead creatures that are indifferent to you unless you have damaged them. You also appear undead to all outward inspections, and to spells you determine the target status. The effect ends if you deal damage or force a creature to make saving throw. I'm really enjoying how specific these items are. So rather than just items for anyone, they've made items which are very specific to what character should have this. So like a necromancer wizard or a wild mage sorcerer. I quite like that. It makes the character feel a little bit more special for the choices that they've made throughout the campaign. Another tattoo here, so you get resistance to necrotic damage, and if you would be reduced to 0 hit points, you drop to 1 instead. So always a nice little Hail Mary. Obviously, a few classes and stuff get that ability already, but you can get it for a tattoo now. Okay, so we've got another artifact here, a Tarokka of Souls. So let's have a look what you get here. So you get some of the following spells, all of which are pretty handy spells, nothing game breaking there. While you're holding the deck, you automatically succeed concentration saving throws to maintain concentration on divination spells. That's interesting. So you can do your divination spells in combat without having to worry about concentration. Twist of Fate, as an action, you can draw a card from the deck and twist the fortune of another creature you can see within 15 feet. Choose one of the following effects. Will, the creature has advantage on the roll for the next hour. Woe, it has disadvantage for the next hour. Can be used in this way twice. You gain all charges at dawn. Pretty nice, especially if you're playing a divination wizard. This is a nice little buff to your party. Whenever you use the Twist of Fate property, there's a chance that one of the souls trapped in the deck. Oh, there's one trapped in the deck escapes. Roll a d100 and consult the soul of the Tarokka table. If you roll one of the high cards, the soul associated with it escapes. You can find the statistics in the monster menu. So let's see what is the worst that can escape. So let's see this. So this is only 1 to 14 here. Let me read this again. Whenever you use it, there's a chance that one of the souls trapped in the deck escapes. Roll D and if you roll one of the higher cards, the soul associated with it escapes. You can find its statistics in the monster manual. If you roll a soul that has already escaped, roll again. I'm a bit confused here because there's a load of blanks. Are they for you to add your own souls? I feel like I'm missing something here. Let's see. And go 7 days without using the achievement ends. Oh, okay. So you have to use a twist of fate property in 7 days, or it ends. Okay. So why? Where? I must have missed something here. I can't see anything about what happens. Comprising of 14 cards of the high deck. Oh, okay. So they are the high deck. That's why. Okay, so nothing happens if you roll that. When it was saying high, I thought it meant so high cards. I thought it meant high in number of value, but it actually means these are the higher cards. So these are like the picture cards, and if you roll less, then nothing happens. Nice. Okay, on to the next one. So this looks like a bard item. So you can cast mending as an action. So that's nice if you don't have it. You can also play the lie as a reaction when the object or structure takes damage, causing it to be immune to that damage. Okay, so it helps structures. In addition, you can play the lie as an action to cast those spells. Not too bad, pretty nice. Got another tattoo here. So fluid ink, as a bonus action, you can shape the tattoo into any color or pattern and move it to any area of your skin, whatever form it takes. It is always obviously a tattoo. It can range in size from no smaller than a copper piece to an intricate work of art that covers your skin. Very nice if you want to make yourself look good. And you can also do disguise self. pretty cool for people that like the roleplay element of Dungeons and Dragons more than the combat element. Um, we've got another artifact here, and this looks pretty cool. Look at this guy. So we have, let's see, dangerous attunement. So 2 creatures can be attuned to this at a time. If a third creature tries to attune it, nothing happens. Upper back, which is easily opened. Well, there are no creatures attuned to the artifact. Attuning to the artifact requires 2 hours, which can be undertaken as part of a long rest, during which time you must be inside the savant, interacting with its controls. While crew members are tuning themselves, any creature or structure outside and within 50 feet of the savant has a 25% chance of accidentally targeted by one of the destructive fist attacks once during the attunement. That's interesting. So while you're attuning to it, you have to make sure you are definitely on your own. Thank you, Carl. Elephant in the room now, because I accidentally said elephant instead of something. Can't even remember what word it was now. Okay, so controlling the savant. While any creature tunes to do a DC 25 dexterity check or using thieves' tools to get into the hatch. If there's someone in there, or a knock spell, creature can enter or exit through the hatch by spending 10 feet of movement. Those inside have total cover. While you're inside, you can command it with the controls. During your turn, you can command it in the following ways: open or close the hatch, no action required. Move the savant up to its speed, no action required. As an action, you can command the savant to take one of the actions in its stat block, or some other action. When a creature provokes an opportunity to attack, you can use your reaction to command it to use the destructive fist attack. Upon his death, the soul of the mighty lord is drawn into the artifact and becomes its animating force. The savant has been known to attack or move of its own accord, particularly if doing so will cause destruction. Okay, so if it loses half of its hit points, each creature tuned to it must succeed a DC 20 wisdom save or be charmed for 24 hours. While charmed, the creature goes on a destructive spree, seeking to destroy structures and attack any attuned creatures within sight. Okay, so you can lose control with this thing as well, which is pretty nasty. Self-destruct by inputting a specific series of lever pulls and button presses. The savant's 2 crew members can cause it to explode. The self-destruct code is not revealed to crew members when they attune to it. If the code is discovered, the DM determines how. It requires 2 attuned crew members to be inside the savant and spend their action on 3 consecutive rounds to perform it. Let's see what it does then. So every creature in a 100-foot radius sphere centered on the savant must make a DC 25 saving throw, so pretty nasty. And if they fail, they take 25 d6 force damage and 25 d6 lightning damage and 25 d6 thunder damage. So that is a total of 75 d6. On a successful save, though, you get half as much. Don't worry, guys. Instead of 75, you're taking whatever half of that is. So this does not destroy it permanently, rather just for 2d6 days. Its parts drop from the sky in random places within 1,000 miles of the explosion. If brought within 5 feet of another piece, the pieces reconnect. So you can do that multiple times. Wow. That's a lot of damage. Let's see what it can do then. So it's got a lot of hit points, a very high armor class. Let's see how much damage it does. Oh, and it regenerates just in case it was hard enough to kill. Plus 17 to attack and does on average 36 damage. That is a lot. And it has a crushing leap that does on average 26 damage. Yeah, that's pretty powerful. A little bit of super armor for the armored people in your party. Pretty nice though. Okay, so this moon sickle is for a druid or a ranger. You get +1, +2, or +3 to your saving throw DCs and spell attack rolls. In addition, you can use the sickle as a spell casting focus. When you cast a spell that restores hit points, you can roll a d4 and add that number to the amount of hit points restored. So a nice little addition for healers there. Nature's Mantle. So I think this has been in another book somewhere, I think. So it can shift its colour and texture to blend into the terrain around you. You can use it as a spell casting focus for your druid or ranger spells. While you are in an area that's slightly obscured, you can hide as a bonus action. Okay, so we've got an outer essence shard now. So these, we had a look at some other essence shard earlier on. So this one, you can roll d4, and so this is when you use your meta magic. You can roll a d4 and consult the chart. And you can either end one of the following conditions. You can choose one creature who's taken damage from the spell and give it disadvantage. You can choose one creature that you can see within 30 feet of you to gain temporary hit points, or you can choose one creature to take more necrotic damage. So yeah, pretty good again, I would say. Plain Brawler's Codex, so you get the following spells, you get 3 charges, you can change out any conjuration school of magic spell, and if you use a conjuration spell that summons or creates one creature, you can spend 1 charge to grant that creature advantage on attack rolls for 1 minute, so helping summoners again. So quite a few additions to summoners out there. Okay, so you can get a prosthetic limb here as well. So if you've lost a limb, you can attach a prosthetic one, and it functions identically to the part it replaces. You can detach or reattach it as an action, and it can't be moved against your will. It detaches if you die. Makes sense that there's magical stuff like that in a fantasy world like this. So a nice addition. Protective Verses, so it's similar to some of the other wizard books we've had. So you get a load of spells, it functions as a spell book. You get some charges, you can replace a spell with an abjuration spell. And the additional thing is that you can expend 1 charge to grant a creature you see within 30 feet of you 2d10 temporary hit points. So help in assist people again. Okay, so we're on the final stretch now, R to Z. So we've got a rare item here, so you get +2 bonus to saving throws for your bard spells. As an action, you can use the concertina to cast Otto's Irresistible Dance, which is a very nice spell, and it can't be used to next turn. So a nice little addition to bard there. Rhythm Maker's Drum, so you get various versions, +1, +2, or +3. You can use it to so you can use the drum, and it adds that to the spell attack rolls and DCs. As an action, you can play the drum to regain 1 of your bardic inspiration feature. The property can't be used to next dawn. I have played with quite a few bards, and I don't think they very often lose all of their bardic inspirations. It might be because they're quite conservative with it, and maybe having an item like this will make them be a little less sparing with it, but yeah, it is what it is. I think the +1, +2, or +2 or +3 is better. Okay, so Shadowfell brand tattoo. It's got the same attunement, but with this one, you gain a dark vision for 60 feet and advantage on dexterity saving throws. Most class, or a lot of the classes, get dark vision, so that's not going to add to them. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to become insubstantial for a moment, halving the damage you take. Then the reaction can't be used till the next sun. Okay, so you can take a little bit less damage with that one, so that's not too bad. And then this is the Shadowfell shard, which I think is the last of the shards that we saw a bit earlier. So when you use a meta magic option, you can momentarily curse 1 creature targeted by the spell, choose 1 ability score, and until the end of your next turn, the creature has disadvantage. So very similar to a hex spell. Right, and then we get, this is the final tattoo of them all. So this one doesn't involve attunement as well. So this magic tattoo contains a single spell of up to 5th level. So it's like Ring of Spell Storing. Go away, Pinterest. To use the tattoo, you must hold the needle against your skin. Turns to ink and becomes a tattoo, which appears once the tattoo is there. You can cast a spell requiring no material components. The tattoo glows faintly while you cast the spell and for the spell's duration. The level of the spell in the tattoo determines the spell's saving throw, DC, attack bonus, spellcasting ability fire, and the tattoo's rarity. Okay, so you can basically put a spell in it, which you can then use with these bits down here. Okay, so the last item in the list is an artifact, and its art is a tooth going through the chest of a dragon. What is this going to be? Okay, so while holding the pouch, so this is a pouch of teeth, you can use an action to draw one tooth. Roll on the teeth on the teeth table to determine which tooth you draw. And you can either sew the tooth or implant it. That's pretty disgusting. If you don't sew or implant the tooth, roll a die at the end of your turn. On an even number, the tooth vanishes, and creatures appear as if you sewed the teeth, but they are hostile to you and your allies. On an odd number, the teeth replaces one of your teeth and is implanted it, potentially replacing another implanted teeth. So, okay, this is a weird item. So it's a bag of teeth that you can put into your own mouth. Hi Rich, how you doing? It is going well. We are just wrapping up the magic items now. Go away, Avast. I've had so many pop-ups come up. Yeah, we're just finishing up the magic items now. They've been pretty good. There's been a lot of very specific attunement-wise magic items. So, for example, like a necromancer, a wizard can attune to this item. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with it so far. Right, so sewing the teeth. To sew the teeth, you can place it in the ground in an unoccupied space within your reach. To throw it, 10 foot, blah blah. Teeth burrows into the ground and vanishes, leaving no hole behind. The creature noted in the creature's summoned column. Okay, so that's how you summon a column. Implanting the teeth. Once the teeth is implanted, you gain the effect noted in the implanted effect column. You can have a maximum number of the teeth implanted at one time, 1 plus your constitution modifier. Minimum of 2 teeth. Okay, so you can implant multiple teeth. Interesting concept. Recovering your teeth, the pouch, blah blah. Right, I want to look at this. Okay, so creature summon 9 cats. If you roll 1, all the way up to. Let's have a look up here. Oh wow. Okay, so it gets pretty mental. So you can, so you could summon an adult red Dracolich, a pit fiend, an ancient blue dragon, or a Tarokka, and it ignores you and your commands. Interesting. Okay, and some of the implanted effects. Okay, so you can do Revivify here. Nice. I would look at the one that's associated with a Tarokka. You deal damage to structures. Oh, okay, makes sense. Well, that is pretty mental item to finish off. So there you have it. There are all of the magic items. What is your favourite? There's some quite interesting stuff there. A lot of artifacts added as well, which is really nice. So let me know your favourite down in the comments below. I'm going to be cutting up the rest of the stream and putting that on my channel in individual videos as well. So make sure to subscribe to see that. And I'm going to be doing some other videos all about what's in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. If you did find this video useful, please do give it a like as well. It helps me to grow this channel. And until next time, happy gaming.